Today we're diving into something I think you'll find super interesting.
Yeah.
The connection between music and trading.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have sent in a ton of research on this.
Lots of it.
And we're going to try to break it all down for you today.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go way beyond just like anecdotal evidence.
Yeah.
And really get into the science.
Hard science.
Of how music can actually impact your performance when you're trading.
It's fascinating stuff.
It really is.
Yeah. I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
Trading can be really high pressure.
Oh, tell me about it.
You got to stay focused. You got to keep your emotions in check.
Absolutely.
And finding ways to do that better through music
Yeah.
can make a huge difference.
That's what we're here to find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
We've got some serious brain science to unpack here.
For sure.
We've got articles like This is Your Brain on Music
Classics.
and The Handbook of Music and Emotion.
Dense, but good.
Yeah, these are not exactly light reading. So what's the main takeaway? How does music actually work on our brains to maybe make us better traders?
The key here is understanding that music isn't just something passive for our brains.
Oh, interesting.
It actually engages different areas up there.
Okay.
Like it triggers those pleasure centers.
Oh, so that's why it feels good.
Exactly.
Okay.
It activates memory pathways.
Wow.
And even influences those all-important neurotransmitters.
Those are like the chemicals, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay.
Things like dopamine and serotonin.
Right. Those are big for mood.
Right? Huge.
Wow.
Yeah, they regulate mood, reward, focus.
All connected.
All connected.
Okay, so you're telling me listening to my favorite tunes could actually be rewiring my brain.
Potentially, yeah.
To make better trades.
It's all about how you use it.
Okay. I am all ears. Tell me more.
All right, so think about it this way. When we apply this to trading, those brain responses we talked about, they can translate into some really valuable skills.
Okay.
Improved focus, for one.
Right, you got to be...
You need to be able to analyze information quickly and efficiently.
Absolutely.
Then there's better mood regulation.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So important because you don't want to be making decisions just based on emotions.
Right.
Got to stay rational.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course, let's not forget stress management.
Oh my gosh.
Huge in trading.
Especially with all this volatility lately.
Exactly. When the market's all over the place, you need those tools.
Right? Tell me about it.
Just thinking about a volatile day makes my heart race.
Mine too.
So that brings us to calming music.
Yes. I've got all these studies here about calming music.
Yeah, all right.
I've got psychoneuroendocrinology and the Journal of Behavioral Finance.
Great journals.
Yeah, but is it really that specific?
It can be.
Like, does it have to be meditation music or something?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, the research actually gets pretty specific.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they found that certain types of music, like classical, ambient, electronica, even some nature sounds with a little bit of music mixed in,
Interesting.
they can actually lower your cortisol levels.
Oh, wow.
That's the stress hormone, and bring your heart rate down, too.
So it's like a chill pill, but for your ears.
Exactly. Way more enjoyable.
Yeah, definitely. But doesn't all music kind of affect our brains in some way?
It does?
Like, I get pumped up listening to high energy music.
Sure.
Doesn't that have a similar effect, even if it's not calming?
That's a great question, and it really highlights an important point.
Okay.
Not all music is created equal when it comes to its effects.
Okay.
The research suggests that music with a steady, repetitive rhythm, like a constant drum beat or a flowing piano melody, that's what's really good for focus and stress reduction.
So it's giving your brain something to latch on to.
Exactly. It provides an anchor.
So are you saying I should be swapping out my power anthems for Mozart while I'm analyzing my portfolio?
It's not necessarily about replacing everything, but more about being strategic about the soundtrack you choose.
Okay, strategic soundtracking. I like that.
Yeah, what we see in the research is that music with lyrics, it can actually be more of a distraction.
Oh, that makes sense.
Than a benefit when you're trying to trade.
Right, you're trying to process the words and the music and the market all at the same time.
It's overload.
Okay, so maybe I'll save the karaoke for after the closing bell.
Probably a good idea.
But how does this all actually translate to performance?
Right.
I mean, feeling relaxed is great and all.
Sure.
But does listening to the right music actually help me make better trades?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
Thankfully, there are studies that shed some light on this, like the influence of ambient music on trading performance. What they found is that this kind of calm, non-lyrical music, it actually helps traders maintain their focus. And it minimizes those distractions. Both from external noise and from those internal anxieties.
A little voice in your head.
Exactly.
Okay.
And ultimately that leads to more rational decision-making.
Okay.
And fewer of those impulsive moves that we want to avoid.
Fewer mistakes.
Exactly.
So I'm less likely to panic sell if I've got some chill beats in the background.
You got it. All right, sign me up. Instead of letting your emotions control your actions, you're better equipped to stick to your plan.
Okay.
Even when the market throws you a curveball.
Yeah, the market loves to throw those curveballs.
It does.
Okay. I'm starting to see the real value here.
Good.
But let's be realistic.
Sure.
Everyone's got different tastes in music.
Of course.
You might be all about Bach.
I do love Bach.
And I might prefer nature sounds with a little flute.
Nothing wrong with that.
Does the research have anything to say about personal preference?
It does.
Okay, tell me.
That's a great point, and one that the research actually supports.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
Personal preference is key.
So it's about finding what helps you achieve that calm, focused state.
That sweet spot.
Okay, so it's like curating my own personal trading soundtrack.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. But what about someone who's just starting out?
Right.
They're still figuring out what their trading style even is.
Sure.
Any advice for them on where to begin?
Here's where the fun part comes in.
Okay.
Experimentation.
I love it.
It's all about trial and error.
Okay.
Start with some of the genres we've talked about.
Okay.
Classical, ambient, even instrumental electronic music.
All right.
See what feels right for you.
Okay.
What helps you concentrate, reduce stress, and stay feeling in control.
I like that. A sense of control.
That's the goal.
Okay, so it's really personalized.
Very much so.
Okay, that's great advice. So just to kind of sum up what we've talked about so far.
Yeah.
Music isn't just background noise.
Right.
It's actually a really powerful tool.
It is.
That can impact your trading directly.
Absolutely.
We've seen how it can improve focus.
Yeah, one of the big ones.
Help regulate emotions.
Keeps you level-headed.
Yeah, and minimize those like knee-jerk stress responses.
Yeah, you don't want those.
That can lead to bad decisions.
Those are the ones that can really hurt.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's all about creating that optimal mental environment.
Exactly.
For making those critical trading calls.
That's the goal.
Now, I know you mentioned earlier that this hedge fund manager actually changes his playlist.
Interesting. Right.
Depending on whether it's a bull or a bear market.
Yeah, he's got a system.
I'm dying to know more about that.
Well,
is there like a connection between specific composers?
It's an interesting thought.
And how the market's behaving.
There's definitely a connection there.
Okay.
Though maybe not in the way you might initially think.
Okay.
It's less about the music predicting the market.
Okay.
And more about how different composers and styles can align with your mindset for different market conditions.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So for example, this hedge fund manager, he might choose Mozart for a bull market.
Okay.
Because Mozart's music is often very structured and balanced.
Okay.
With a clear upward momentum.
Yeah.
So it might mirror that optimism and sense of growth that comes with a bull market.
Makes sense.
And helps him stay focused on the positive trends.
Okay.
So it's like Mozart is the soundtrack to his bullish mindset.
I love that.
On the flip side, he might choose Bach for a bear market.
Interesting.
Because Bach's compositions are known for being incredibly complex and layered.
Yeah.
With a lot of interplay between different musical lines.
Right, lots going on.
So this could reflect the intricacies and challenges of navigating a bear market.
Yeah, you got to be on your toes.
Where you need to be extra vigilant and strategic.
Oh, wow. So he's like composing his trading strategy.
We could say that.
Along with the music.
Yeah, it's all connected.
That's incredible. But can you give me like a real world example?
Sure.
Of how this actually plays out during a trading day?
Absolutely. So let's say you're about to enter a high stakes trade.
High stakes.
You've done your research.
I've done my homework.
You have a plan.
I'm ready.
But your heart is racing.
Oh, yeah.
You're feeling the pressure.
The pressure's on.
And that's when those impulsive decisions can creep in.
Oh, yeah. You start to second guess yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's when putting on some of that calming music can actually help regulate your breathing.
Okay.
Lower your heart rate and bring you back to a more centered state.
Oh, I like that.
Get you grounded.
So it's like hitting pause.
Yeah.
On that emotional roller coaster and giving yourself a chance to just breathe.
Take a step back.
Think clearly.
Make a rational decision.
That makes so much sense.
It can be a game changer.
And it's not just about the big trades either, right? It's about those long hours.
Absolutely.
Of staring at the charts.
Staring at the charts.
Analyzing data.
Yeah.
Having the right music in the background.
can make a big difference.
It can create a more focused and productive environment.
It can.
It's all about blocking out distractions.
Tuning out the noise.
And staying in the zone.
Exactly.
This is all so fascinating.
It is, isn't it?
And it's clear there are real benefits to using music strategically while trading.
No doubt.
But are there also potential downsides?
That's a great question.
I mean, can music ever be detrimental to your trading performance?
It's definitely something to be aware of.
Okay.
While music can be incredibly helpful,
right,
it's not a magic bullet.
Okay.
And there are a few things to be cautious about.
Okay, tell me.
For example, if you're someone who tends to get really emotionally caught up in music,
okay, yeah,
you might want to be careful about what genres you choose while trading.
Okay, that makes sense.
Certain types of music could actually amplify your emotional responses.
Right.
And that could lead to those impulsive decisions that you wouldn't normally make.
Got it. So maybe skip the breakup ballads while I'm checking my portfolio.
Probably a good idea.
Okay, good advice. Any other pitfalls we should be aware of?
Definitely one thing that's super important to be mindful of is that music can sometimes mask important auditory cues.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Imagine you've got your headphones on.
I do that all the time.
Blasting your favorite tunes.
Guilty.
And you miss a crucial news announcement.
Oh, no.
Or a phone call from your broker.
Yeah, that would be bad.
That could be a costly mistake.
Right, right. It's about finding that balance.
Exactly.
Between creating the soundscape, but also staying tuned in to what's happening around you.
Absolutely, you need both.
Okay. Any other words of caution before we move on?
One last thing I'd emphasize is the importance of being aware of your overall energy levels.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you're already feeling stressed or overstimulated,
yeah, you're already on edge.
Adding more auditory input, even if it's calming music, it might actually do more harm than good. Okay. It's like trying to add more water to an already overflowing glass. Sometimes silence can be the best strategy, especially when the markets are already a symphony of chaos.
Oh, that's a good one. Sometimes you just got to tune out the noise.
Literally and figuratively.
I like that. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But I am dying to hear about some of the specific tools and resources
we'll get to that
traders can use to create their perfect trading soundtracks.
We've got you covered.
So what are some practical tips?
We'll dive into that more in the next part of our deep dive.
Oh, perfect.
We'll get into the nitty-gritty of building your own trading playlist.
Oh, I can't wait.
Including specific genres, tempos, even instrumentation.
All right, stay tuned, folks. We'll be back in a flash. Welcome back. We left off talking about the potential downsides of using music while trading. But now I'm really excited to dive into some specific tools and resources.
Me too.
Where should people even begin when it comes to creating that perfect trading soundtrack?
Well, you know, the good news is there are tons of options out there. Even if you're not like a musical expert.
Right.
Most music streaming services, for example, they already have like these pre-made playlists.
Oh, that's hot.
Designed for focus, relaxation, or even specific activities like studying or working. So you can easily search for things like classical for focus or ambient for work.
Got it.
And just kind of see what catches your ear.
Oh, that's easy.
So you don't have to be like a musicologist or spend hours digging through obscure tracks.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's pretty user-friendly.
What else is out there?
Another great option is to explore apps that are specifically designed for creating these customized sound environments.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so apps like Brain.fm or Noisely, they use algorithms to generate these soundscapes that are supposed to enhance focus, relaxation, even sleep.
Wow.
And some of them let you customize the sounds
that's cool.
Based on your preferences.
Wow.
So you can really fine-tune the experience.
To match your trading style.
Exactly.
So it's like having a personal DJ.
I like that analogy.
For your trading setup.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That is cool. And don't forget about just simple white noise or nature sounds.
Oh, yeah, those are classics.
Oh, those are great.
There are tons of free websites and apps.
Oh, even better.
That offer a wide variety of those.
Okay.
From like rainfall and ocean waves to crackling fire and birdsong.
I love those.
It can be incredibly effective for blocking out distractions and creating a calmer atmosphere.
Especially if music itself can be a little too stimulating sometimes.
For sure. Some people are more sensitive to that.
So many options.
I know, it's a lot.
It is. But before we get lost in a sea of playlists and apps.
Right. Let's bring it back.
Let's go back to the music itself.
Okay.
We've talked about some broad genres that can be helpful.
Right. Like a general overview.
But can you give us some more specific examples?
Sure.
of music that research has actually shown to be effective for traders.
Yeah, let's get specific.
I'm ready to get some inspiration for my own trading playlist.
All right, let's start with classical music.
Oh, a classic for a reason.
It always comes up as a top contender.
Yeah.
And for good reason.
Okay, why?
It's been shown to have a calming effect on the mind.
Okay.
Improve focus.
Yeah.
And even enhance cognitive function.
It's like a brain booster.
It can be.
Okay, so we're talking like Bach, Beethoven, Mozart.
The big names.
The heavy hitters.
Exactly. But what is it about classical music specifically that makes it so good for our brains?
Good question.
Well, one theory is that the complex harmonies and the intricate melodies, they actually stimulate the brain in a way that helps improve cognitive processing and attention. Plus, a lot of classical music doesn't have lyrics.
Right, we talked about that.
Which we know can be distracting.
Yeah.
Especially for traders.
So it's like giving your brain a mental workout.
I like that.
While also calming your nerves at the same time.
2 birds, 1 stone.
I can see how that would be a winning combination for trading.
It's a powerful combo.
What other genres are worth exploring?
Another one that pops up in the research is ambient music.
Ambient music. Okay, I'm picturing...
What are you picturing?
Like spa music or something?
You're on the right track.
Okay.
Or something you might hear in a yoga studio.
Okay.
It's all about creating this calming, immersive soundscape that helps to promote relaxation and focus.
Makes sense.
And because it often lacks a strong beat or melodic hooks, it doesn't tend to distract you from what you're doing.
Got it.
So it can be perfect for those long training sessions where you need to stay alert but also maintain a level head.
So it's like the audio equivalent.
I love these analogies.
Of a Zen garden.
Yes.
But for your trading desk.
Exactly. Bring that Zen to the markets.
I'm digging it. What else? You got any musical surprises from the research?
All right, here's one you might not expect. Nature sounds...
Nature sounds okay.
But with musical elements.
Wait, so like... whale songs with a harp accompaniment?
Maybe not whale songs, but you're getting the idea.
Seriously?
It might sound a little out there.
It does.
But the research suggests that this combo can be incredibly effective for creating a sense of tranquility and focus.
Interesting.
The natural sounds provide that grounding, peaceful element, while the musical elements add a layer of complexity that keeps the brain engaged.
So it's like bringing the serenity of nature into your trading environment.
That's the goal.
I could definitely use a bit of that.
Who couldn't?
But with so many different options.
It's a lot.
How do you even know what's going to work best for you?
Right. It can feel overwhelming.
It does a little bit.
It really comes down to experimentation.
Okay. So just try different stuff out.
It's a bit like finding your perfect cup of coffee.
I like that analogy.
You might need to try a few different blends before you discover the one that really hits the spot.
Okay.
Same with music for trading.
So I should just blast different genres while I'm trading and see what happens.
Well, not exactly. Remember, the goal here is to enhance your focus and performance. So instead of just randomly playing music, start by creating a few different playlists. Based on the genres we've discussed. Classical, ambient, nature sounds with those musical elements.
Got it.
And then try them out during your actual trading sessions.
Okay, so it's like a musical A/B test.
I like that.
For my trading strategy.
Exactly. See what works best.
I like that approach. What else should we be paying attention to?
Well, the most important thing is to be aware of how different types of music affect you personally.
Oh, okay. So how it makes me feel.
Exactly. So do you feel more relaxed and in control when you're listening to classical music? More energized and alert with ambient electronica. More grounded and centered with nature sounds.
So just really tune in.
Yes, tune into how the music impacts your mental state.
And then choose what works best for me in different situations.
It's about making the music work for you.
Not the other way around.
Exactly. You're in control.
But it's not just about genre, right?
Right. There's more to it.
I remember you mentioned something about tempo and instrumentation, too.
You've got a good memory.
So tell me more about that.
Okay, let's start with tempo. It's all about beats per minute.
BPM.
Or BPM. Yeah, you've probably seen that on your workout playlist.
Oh, so we're talking BPMs like I see at the gym.
Exactly the same concept.
Oh, wow.
Studies have shown that moderate tempos, somewhere between 60 to 80 beats per minute, are ideal for trading.
So it's finding that sweet spot where your brain can relax but still stay alert and engaged.
You don't want to be too relaxed. You'll fall asleep.
Too slow.
Too fast. You might get agitated.
So no speed metal for day trading. Got it.
probably not the best choice.
What about instrumentation?
Another important factor.
Does that play a role too?
Absolutely different instruments can have a subtle but powerful impact on your mood and focus.
Interesting.
So, for example, instruments like the piano or violin tend to be more soothing and conducive to concentration.
Right.
Others, like drums or electric guitar, can be more stimulating and even distracting in a trading context.
So it's like creating your own personal orchestra.
I love that.
For your trading day.
Your trading soundtrack.
But let's say I've experimented with all this stuff.
Okay, you've done your homework.
Different genres, tempos. I'm even paying attention to instrumentation.
You're a pro.
What else can I do to fine-tune my trading soundtrack?
Good question.
Are there any specific tips to make sure it's actually helping me?
Yeah, you want to be intentional about it.
And not just being background noise.
One of the most important things is to be mindful of the volume.
Okay.
Yeah. You want the music to kind of fade into the background and provide this supportive atmosphere without becoming a distraction in itself.
Right. It should enhance your focus, not compete for it.
Exactly. You want it to work with you, not against you.
And it's not just about the music itself, right?
No.
It's also about how you use it.
Absolutely.
So instead of waiting until I'm already stressed out.
Right. Don't wait for the panic to set in.
I should try incorporating music into my pre-trading routine.
Exactly. That's a great idea.
Use it to set the tone for my trading session.
Create that optimal mental space.
From the get-go.
Before you even place your first trade.
I love that it's like setting an intention.
It is.
For my trading day.
Exactly. Set the tone from the start.
Any other words of wisdom?
Well, just remember, this isn't just about finding music that you enjoy.
Okay.
It's about finding music that helps you trade effectively.
Okay.
So pay attention to how different types of music impact your focus, your mood, your decision-making.
Really be mindful.
Exactly. You might be surprised at what you discover.
I'm already thinking about curating some playlists and trying out some of those apps you mentioned.
Excellent.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
yeah,
I'm curious to hear about some real-world examples.
Oh, yeah.
Of traders who've actually successfully incorporated music into their routines.
Sure, we can talk about that.
Is this something that actual pros are doing?
You might be surprised.
Or is it more of a niche thing?
In the next part of our deep dive, we'll delve into some real-world examples of traders who are using music to enhance their performance.
Awesome.
And we'll also talk about some additional consideration.
Okay, great.
To keep in mind as you experiment with your own trading soundtrack.
Perfect. I can't wait to hear it. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back after a quick break. Welcome back to the deep dive. We've been talking all about how music can impact your trading, and I'm really curious to hear some real-world examples now.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Are there actual traders out there using music strategically?
Absolutely.
And is it really making a difference?
You'd be surprised how many traders, from like seasoned pros to those just starting out, have integrated music into their routines.
Interesting.
And it's not just about personal preference. It's really about using what we know about how music affects the brain to gain an edge in the markets.
We get that advantage.
Exactly.
Okay, so give me some examples. Who's out there like rocking out to Beethoven while making millions?
Maybe not rocking out exactly, but one example is this well-known hedge fund manager who swears by classical music during his trading day.
So he's got like a classical music playlist.
He does. He says it helps him stay calm and focused.
Okay.
Especially when the market gets crazy.
Right.
He even has different playlists.
Oh, wow.
For different market conditions.
Okay.
Mozart for a bull market.
Okay.
Bach for a bear market.
So he's like matching the music.
You could say that.
To the market.
It's like he's conducting his portfolio with a musical score.
That's amazing. I love that. Any other interesting examples?
I've also heard of day traders who use ambient electronica to create a kind of flow state where they can react really quickly and intuitively to those market fluctuations.
Right, when things are moving fast.
Exactly. They say it helps them block out distractions and tap into that zone.
The zone.
The micro-focus.
Right, where they can make those split-second decisions.
It's all about rhythm and flow.
So it's like they're using the music to get into that rhythm. To get into the groove where everything just clicks.
That's the idea.
I love that. But let's be real.
Okay.
There has to be a flip side to all this.
There's always a flip side.
Can music actually be bad for trading?
It's a good question, and it's important to be aware of the potential downsides.
Okay.
Music can be incredibly beneficial.
Right.
But it's not a magic bullet.
Okay.
One thing to watch out for
Okay.
is if you're someone who gets easily caught up in the emotional sway of music.
Oh, yeah.
Certain genres might actually amplify your emotional responses.
Right.
And that could lead to impulsive decisions.
Especially in a heated moment.
Exactly when the pressure's on.
Okay, so maybe avoid the breakup ballads while checking my portfolio.
Probably a good idea.
What else should traders be mindful of?
Another thing to consider is that music can sometimes mask important auditory cues.
Right.
If you've got your headphones cranked up,
Yeah.
you might miss a crucial news announcement.
Oh, no.
A phone call from your broker.
That would be bad.
Or even those subtle shifts in market sounds.
Interesting.
That can signal a change in sentiment.
Okay, so like the background noise of the market.
Exactly. You got to be tuned in.
Right. It's all about finding that balance.
You got it.
Between creating a good soundscape, but also staying aware of what's happening around you.
Absolutely.
Any other words of caution?
One last thing I emphasize.
Okay.
Is being mindful of your overall energy levels.
Okay.
If you're already feeling stressed.
Right.
Or overstimulated, adding more auditory input, even if it's calming music.
Okay.
It could backfire.
Makes sense.
It's like trying to cram more stuff into an already overpacked suitcase.
Overflowing.
Sometimes silence is the best strategy.
Yeah.
Especially when the markets are already a symphony of chaos.
Oh, I like that sometimes you just need to like step away.
Yeah, take a break.
From all the noise, literally and figuratively.
Give your brain a chance to reset.
Okay, any final takeaways for our listeners?
I think the key takeaway here is that music is a powerful tool.
Right.
But like any tool,
right,
it's all about using it effectively.
Makes sense.
Pay attention to how different types of music impact you.
Okay.
Your mental state, your focus, your decision-making.
Really tune in.
Experiment, find what works best for you.
Yeah.
And remember that your perfect trading soundtrack might change over time.
Oh, that's a good point.
As your trading style evolves and the market conditions shift.
It's all about adapting and finding what helps you stay in the zone no matter what's happening.
You got it.
And who knows? You might even discover a new favorite genre along the way.
Always a possibility.
Oh, I'm definitely feeling inspired to go revamp my trading playlist.
Great.
And try out some of those apps we talked about.
I encourage you to.
Thanks for taking us on this fascinating deep dive.
My pleasure.
It was really interesting to explore the connection between music, psychology, and finance.
It's fascinating stuff.
And to all our listeners out there.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this exploration of music and trading.
It's a powerful combination.
Don't forget to check out the show notes.
Yeah, all the links are there.
For links to all the research and resources we mentioned.
Happy listening.
Until next time, happy trading.